Hi, Mark Davis here in the video lounge, and we are in the wake of our Tuesday, October 23rd show, and that means in the wake of the final presidential debate. Can you believe it? They're over. The next presidential debate will be sometime in the fall of 2016, featuring incumbent Mitt Romney and, Hillary Clinton. Okay, 2016 talk, tap the brakes, we'll get to that. We'll see if we even get to incumbent Mitt Romney. But I got to tell you, these debates have helped move things along on that storyline. And as of last night, I asked the question, how many ways are there to win a debate? It's fairly rare that you win a debate in the way in which you win a football or a baseball game, where somebody wins and they are 1-0 and somebody loses and they're 0-1. It's rarely like that. It is more of a 60-40, 70-30, 55-45 split in terms of both parties coming to the table with goals they want to achieve. How many goals are actually ticked off the list? Well, so let's put it up under that model. Governor Romney wanted to come in and keep the narrative going. And what is the narrative? What's been the storyline? Him on the ascendancy as the Obama poll numbers recede. Did his performance keep that storyline alive? Yes. So in that vein, I would say that he won, if you want to phrase it that way. President Obama was thoroughly energetic, actually pretty effective in the first half. And again, I define effectiveness in an objective way. I didn't agree with a word the man said, but you got to try to put on the objectivity hat and say, did he come to the table looking prepared, crisp? And he did. But then about halfway through, the other guy showed up. You know the guy I'm talking about. The guy who's also channeled through Joe Biden, the snarky, patronizing, condescending guy. Those moments when President Obama chose to remind Governor Romney that we don't use horses and bayonets as much anymore. First of all, the Marines called, we still use bayonets. Anyway, that was just a moment of snark that I just don't think that played well with independent voters, voters in Ohio, voters in Florida, swing voters, whatever you want to call them. I mean, let us stipulate that the points that President Obama made are going to resonate well with the left, MSNBC, with you if you're an Obama voter. And the points Governor Romney made are going to be preloaded and predestined to resonate well with me because he's actually wearing the mantle of a conservative quite well these days. And so those of us on the right are going to enjoy it. Neither of those is the point. Take both of them, put them on the shelf. The question is, if you've just started paying attention in these last couple of weeks, and please call the show if you are an undecided voter, because I'd like a bug under a microscope. I need to know what you are and how you exist. How is anybody undecided? Just call me on that. I may devote an entire one of these to you, okay? But anyway, if you're one of those folks still flipping the coin, still sitting on the fence, and you watch that debate, and you're not ideologically driven in either necessary direction, I think you saw Governor Romney looking calm, cool, presidential, and authoritative. In other words, looking kind of like an entrenched incumbent. And you saw President Obama, not through the whole thing, but just in a couple of moments, looking urgent, not nervous or edgy, but there was a kind of an urgency to it, like somebody who's a challenger who's down 5 or 6 a couple of weeks before the election. It's like, man, I got to make sure I get this zinger in. I got to make sure I use that line about the foreign policy of the 80s and the social issues of the 50s and the economic policy of the 20s. I got to make sure I get that index card out because if I don't, I can't turn the ship around. Well, did the president turn the ship around? No. And that doesn't mean he lost. It means he did not succeed in his goals in the way that Governor Romney succeeded in his. Well, we are fresh out of debates. Wow, how will we fill our days? Probably with the content of the final 2 weeks of the campaign, during which I don't know if I want Mitt Romney to say Barack Obama's name, and I may only be half kidding about that. He is now at the point where he has achieved huge success in the first debate by going at the president and simply making better points. In the Libya thing, he could have done better fighting back and saying, hey, your storyline just doesn't work. Your administration's not being honest. But you know what? I've kind of handled that. And people who do what I do for a living, and plenty of the good surrogates on the Romney team. Now it's time for Governor Romney to look and sound more, like he did in debate number 3, like President Romney. For people to look at him and say, you know, I can imagine that guy in the White House. I can imagine that guy fixing the economy. I can imagine that guy bringing America back to a position of respect around the world. Because if he can do that, he's got it. It's a big if. And of course, now here's the thing on on the upcoming shows. I don't want to go conspiracy dork on you, and in no way am I going to go on the air and say, I'll tell you what's going to happen. Obama's going to bomb Tehran on November 3rd. except it wouldn't surprise me if he did. Nothing would surprise me. I don't trust these people as far as I can throw them. It sparks the question: should Governor Romney? It's kind of unpresidential. In fact, it's kind of let's save this one for the surrogates and the talk show guys. Is it time for us to maybe start to float the notion, make up, pardon the term here, a preemptive strike, and say, you know what these folks are probably going to do? If they're X points down with a few days to go, I swear I wouldn't put it past them to take out an Iranian nuclear facility on Halloween night. So that if they're thinking about it, they then go, we can't do that. They see it coming, and it's going to look craven and contrived. Look at the kind of reverse psychology, chess game, trying to stay one step ahead. That's what these last 2 weeks involve. You know what else they involve? Talk shows. Lots of them. Let's enjoy them together. Mark Davis Show, 7 to 10, Monday through Thursday, Central Time, and extra early, dark and early on Bill Bennett's Morning in America, starting at 5, all the way till 10, right here on 660 AM The Answer. And thanks for watching these on 660amtheanswer.com.